Aloha Bisshhh'ss, 'tis I, Chlois, aka Manny Bish, over on Insta. Today, during this Manny, I wasn't sure which of these I wanted to go with. I wasn't sure about Cherry Bomb, so I set that one aside, and I'm gonna start with Bling 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 and Sassy French Pink and see how that goes. And I'm using my Sparkle & Co. Low Liquid. Oh my god, we are already starting off on a bad start. Low odor liquids. And just because I haven't used them in a while, and I definitely don't like the top coat of the low odor liquids from Sparkle & Co. But the base coat it's okay for certain stuff. So I just thought, well, we'll give it a good old try. And I was using other Sparkle & Co. dips, so I was like, let's just, go for it. So I am using my Manny Boss Pill Base. And I wasn't 100% sure where this Manny was going to go, you guys. I knew I wanted a little French ombre action happening, but I actually was going to try and do like a peekaboo using this foil instead of glitter, because Diane asked for a reverse like peekaboo situation, so I will be doing that. But I thought, well, maybe I could do it with foil, and so that's why I had the darker pink there as well that I had thought about. And then I did my first layer like this. I went and I did bling 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 on the tip, and then I'm doing Sassy French Pink up at the cuticle. And I was really liking the way that it looked after just this first layer, so I stuck with just these two for this Manny. And I really love it. And you'll see something that I do at the end or in the middle, I guess, of the video that's a little different, that I don't know, I really like the way this turned out. Guys, I need to learn to breathe because I choke a lot on my own spit. I just really like the way it came out. So anyways, after I'm dipping, I did it on my middle finger because it's become habit now to start on my middle finger. Don't know. But I'm just like saying, yeah, this is what I'm going to do on all of my fingers, because I am like, this was looking good for this first layer. Second layer, I just wasn't sure if I wanted to add the darker pink and start building it up as a peekaboo or what, but I didn't do it once I got all of my nails done in this first layer because I really liked the way it looks, so I just carried on with this. So I'm just sprinkling that foil at the free edge of my nail, and I do this on glitter ombres, foil ombres, regular solid ombres. I like to sprinkle my powder on first at the free edge and then dip my free edge into the powder just to get that opacity built up right at the free edge. I just find that it helps get that extra coverage right there, because sometimes you can miss the corners. You don't always get them, so that's what I do. And I think that helps a lot. And then I'm just patting those foils in once I have the other color on. I'm just tapping that like in. If you don't want dip on your nails or anything to get stuck to you, I do recommend using like a small plastic baggie. Otherwise you will get liquid on your nails and you will become a little sticky. I just file it off my fingers using a hand file. I'll just file my fingertips and it comes right off, which you'll see me do here in a little bit. But yeah, once I get all of that on there, I'm just tapping everything in place. It's still a little wet because the dip base is slow drying. And so I'm just using my finger to kind of reshape any out of place powder or anything and get those foils to really stick and lay down. And on this next layer, now for this, I did not alternate. I wanted to make sure that that glitter stuck out really good, the foil, so I did both layers with the foil going on first, doing the same exact thing about dipping my free edge in to get that extra coverage. And here it is wet because I have liquid on the whole nail, but before I put powder on, I didn't really do it on my pinky, but you'll see me do it on my other nails, where I am going to pat the glitter in on the am I still on my first layer? You guys, see, this is what happens during these voiceovers. Like, I can watch the video before I do a voiceover and have things planned out in my head, like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, this is what I'm going to say, this is what I'm going to talk about. And then when it comes to me actually doing the voiceover, I'm still just as lost, like it's my first time viewing the video too. Like, what in the world? Okay, guys, now we're getting into our second dip. So once I had all of that powder off, this was where I started to see that I was liking the way this was looking. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm still going to dip my free edge in. See, just like that. Sprinkle, dip my free edge in. With this still wet, I am using my whole finger to just tap all of that shimmer or all of those foils in and pack them into place. And then I am going to go in with the Sassy French Pink. For this one, I wanted to make sure that my oils were... Oils? Oh my goodness. What the freak am I talking about? I wanted to make sure all of my foils were placed down and tightly packed really good. And like even kind of... because they all kind of clustered up in one area, I wanted to separate them just a little bit so I knew touching them and kind of moving them around would do that. So that's why I was doing that while my finger was still wet before I put the Sassy French Pink on. So I am doing this on all of my fingers. Now for this layer, you are only going to see these two fingers just because, well, it's redundant. You've seen the first layer. You've seen part of the second layer. I'm going to show you how I did what I did for this next layer. And I think this, like, it gives it a totally different look. So, see, here I'm going to show you that I just use that and I just file that right off, and all the glitters and the dip base come off with it. Really good. Or another thing, instead of using a plastic baggie, you can dip your finger into clear powder and then press it on over your finger, and that will help keep things from sticking too. So here, my nails were still just a little bit wet, so I poured over some more of the French Pink and just tapped that back into my nail, and then I scrubby brushed them off. Just because the only reason I did that, they were still a little wet, and I knew if I went in with my scrubby brush, it would start to like tear it up and kind of peel up and make it jelly-like. So that's why I poured over a little bit more powder, tapped it in, and then scrubby brushed. And so now for this layer, this is going to be my cap, my encapsulation. I'm not using clear. I am using the Sassy French Pink all over the nail because it is sheer. It's going to still let the glitter, the foil pop through, but it's kind of going to give it more of like a muted, cloudy-ish effect. I really like the way it came out. I did. I was like, you know what? It will be still kind of like a peekaboo. So I'm still going to try the peekaboo thing. But with these foils, I was like, it'll like just I don't know. I really like it though. So instead of using clear, I used the Sassy French Pink as my encapsulation, and it just, you can still see the foil, but it just muted it down a little bit, and it's not as like popping, which in most cases you want, but I actually really like this. I did switch my base liquids. So first I was using Sparkle & Co. Low Odor. Now I am using the Zebra Glitter Nails Dainty Liquids, because this one, when I tested it in a video, I'll try and leave both of those like reviews, because I've tested both of these dip bases in different videos, like for first impressions. So I'll leave those in the cards. But I did switch to that liquid because it's faster drying. And I wanted to make sure that this coat dried fast and good for when I scrubby brushed the heck out of it. So that's why you see me like feeling my nails still, making sure everything is still, in tip-top shape, not soft or squishy feeling, that it is like set. And now I'm going in with my Zebra Glitter Nails Activator. Just because this was the one that I have laying around. I ordered new Mani Boss liquids, and while they did come in, I'm just not ready to crack them open yet. I know that's weird because they are my favorite liquids, but do you guys ever get something and you know you love it and you know how good it's going to be, but you don't want to open it, because if you open it, that means that, well, then you're going to start using it and then it's going to go away and then you're going to have to order a new one. So you just like let it sit there for a while and just look at it, even though you know you really want to get into it. You just let it sit there because you know that you like it. Is that weird? Like, I don't even know if that's like a crazy concept. It's hard to explain, but does anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Anyways, so with that being said, I activated my nails, rubbed them off, and this is a Mani Boss dip top coat, but it is my older one, so it is slightly contaminated. It's taken a while for it to get there, but it is like a year old almost, so it's been through the ringer, so it's a little thicker than like say a fresh bottle would be, which I have, but of course I was like, no, I gotta wait to open it. So I used this older one. It worked, it got the job done. It was just a little bit harder to get it like evenly brushed on the first layer, so that's why on a couple of them I did like have to re-dip just for one finger. But yeah, it worked. It dried great. It looks great. It's still super shiny. So if you have older liquids from Mani Boss and you're wondering if they still work, like especially the dip top coat, it will still work. Mine is still going strong. It's just a tiny bit harder to work with, but very doable. So that was, we're going into our second layer. So I see this is where I'm having to do an extra like dip or two, just because it's thick and I'm having to manipulate it. It's a little bit harder to manipulate. My brain thinks and my mouth speaks faster than my brain, I think, is my problem. So I can't talk right, and things just kind of spiel out unnecessarily. So, yeah. I think that's also why I just like to talk and talk and talk during these videos. So I apologize. I'm sorry. Lo siento. I'm sorry. And if you still hang around here, even with all my talkative ways, you are a real MVP, and I love you. Thank you mucho. So this is what the mani looks like. This, I love the way it came out. Look at these pictures. Like, it still pops, but it's just muted just the tiniest bit. It's just so subtle. I love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch y'all in the next one. Bye, bitches.